It's time for another episode of The Player and the Journalist, hosted by Karson Harris and David Vick. Karson is a former All American at Drexel, the program's all time leading goal scorer, and the CAA's leader in draw controls. I'm a journalist covering women's lacrosse since 2019 and the founder of Lacrosse Extras. In this episode, we have two guests for the very first time, and they happen to be twins, two defenders who locked down the West Coast. Bella and Gigi Gaspar are on the player and the journalist. Bella, we'll start with you. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you? Thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm doing great, and also It's also amazing to have you on because you won our college football bowl mania, and your bobblehead is arriving very soon. Okay, so that
So excited.
Gigi, what happened and what happened to you? Why didn't you win?
I know, seriously, Bella just picked better, I guess. I mean, I don't really follow college football that much. It's honestly all just kind of up in the air, and she just picked well, I guess.
Yeah. She got luckier.
Yeah,
saying.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. I was happy to be close to the podium this year.
Hey, overall, it was a better performance from both of you this year. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and that's all you can ask for, really.
Did y'all work together on your picks or no?
No, we both did it just randomly. I think I honestly did mine really fast because I, again, don't really know what the right pick is. But yeah, we afterwards we compared and we're like, oh, they're pretty similar, but not fully similar. Yeah.
Well, we have so we've done it twice now. We have both winners. Karson won the first one. And because she won the first one, we had to remove all staff members from this most recent one because we didn't want people to think we were rigging anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Even at to be fair, I also was lucky. Like I just kind of was like, yeah. This one, that one, this one.
I honestly, we don't really we follow college football a little bit, but only since we've got into college. It's not like we've been like following it. So yeah, there was no strategy, just luck.
Very cool. Y'all are from Canada, correct?
Yeah.
Are y'all? I say y'all a lot. I'm from the South, obviously.
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
I'm not sure if y'all say y'all up in Canada, up yonder over there. But are y'all fans of hockey or any other sports?
Yeah, big hockey girls for sure. We grew up watching that. We played it when we were younger too. Our brother played, so it was just kind of always on in the house. And obviously, being from Canada, it's all people talk about. But yeah, we love hockey. Yeah, I love it. And ASU's team's pretty good too, so they're fun to watch as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect them to be good out there.
I know. It's so random.
They probably have a hard time keeping the ice frozen out there, but
yeah.
I'm sure they have a way.
There's not that many ice rinks around here, so.
Awesome. Let's see. So I have the first question. Can you explain? This is probably the most question I'm most interested in. Can you explain what it was like growing up as twins?
Yeah. You want to go? Yeah. I mean, obviously, first of all, I don't really know how anyone exists without a twin. Like, it's like having a built-in best friend at all times. I mean, we're attached at the hip. We do pretty well everything together. So growing up, I mean, she's always been my best friend. We've always done everything together. We've always played all the same sports, gone to the same schools, all that stuff. And especially like in sports, once we started playing more competitively, I feel like having a twin, it's like been such a huge advantage just because, first of all, if we ever go to a clinic, it's automatically we know we have a partner. If we're practicing, I feel like we're so competitive with each other that, like, especially growing up, like we never fight. I wouldn't say we ever really fight. We'll get into like small little arguments, but just like if say like we're shooting around or something and she gets like 5 reps, like I need to get 5 reps, or like we'll always be even in everything we do. So that sort of thing is always awesome. And then I don't know, I feel like just we're best friends, so I feel like that's just always been the best part about having a twin at all times. Yeah, and we've just been super lucky, obviously, just because we do everything together. Like Bella said, I mean, you'd never really have to think about who you're gonna pass with or whatever at a camp or things like that. And so I guess that eases a lot of stress from a lot of like situations, because no matter the situation, we just always have a best friend. And like, it sounds cliche, but we really are just
conjoined at the hip and best friends. So it's really been a true blessing, and I couldn't go to college without her. Like I don't know how everyone survives without a twin, to be honest.
And I feel like also like socially growing up, it's helped like so because I feel like a lot of people kind of struggle to like make friends sometimes because it's like new environments and stuff can sometimes be like scary or uncomfortable, but like since we've always had each other anytime we go places, I'd say we're pretty like extroverted people, so it's really easy for us to like form friends and like get close with people, just because even if people don't give us the energy that we kind of were hoping for, we always have each other to fall back on, so it's never really awkward or anything like that.
That's so, a camp is like one of the most isolating things I think that you can like like showing up to those and knowing nobody and knowing that like your future is like on the line, like hope I do well at this camp and people love me and I know nobody here. Like that is a win. I didn't even think about that. It's like showing up, not even just a partner, but like having somebody around you when you're playing that like, has your back, because those are so like, typically pretty selfish environments because everyone like needs to show that they're the best. So it's like, I hadn't even thought about that. That's really cool.
Yeah. No, it is. It's awesome.
So for birthdays and holidays, would y'all get the exact same presents or no?
Presents similar, I would say, but we always get separate cakes. Our parents were really good about that. I'm always usually like growing up, I was vanilla, she was chocolate. Now I'm red velvet, she's chocolate mousse. But our parents have never gotten us the same cake. I think it was just to show that we're different people and stuff, I guess, like not conjoining everything we do, but they've always been really good about that. But yeah, no, for the gifts, like I would say pretty much the same. We have really honestly the exact same interests, so for the most part when I want something she also wants it, maybe a different color or something to
we'll,
make
like,
the closet bigger.
Like if we are like looking at a couple different like pieces of clothes that we want, like she'll just ask for one, I'll ask for the other, so it's like double.
And then you just flip.
We'll just like split everything we have pretty much. So
your parents must love raising y'all. No offense to your brother, but y'all are best friends and y'all have similar interests. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's awesome. Well, first, you're from like the British Columbia area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to see Taylor Swift there in December.
What day?
I was like, oh my God. Saturday.
I'm going as well, Karson.
Gosh, we're going to.
Are you going too?
Oh
my God, that's so fun.
We just found out like last week. Our dad surprised us.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm
so
excited. This is so embarrassing though. Like I had no idea where the British Columbia was. Like my friend called me and she had the tickets and she's like, we're going to the British Columbia. And I like literally thought we were going to London. Like I was like, oh, we're going to like the UK.
Oh my God.
And then I had to Google it and I was like, oh, we're going to Canada. I was like, all right, sure. Like, let's go to Canada.
Oh my God.
That's so exciting.
Also, you can tell Karson has never been there because she's calling it the British Columbia.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't travel very often, okay? But
not much Americans do.
If you have any like recommendations of things that we should do, let me know later after the podcast, because
that's for sure.
We're going from Wednesday to Monday, so we got time to kill. We like made it a vacation. So anyway.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun. It is a really like beautiful place, honestly. And I know it sounds kind of biased, but it really is just naturally super beautiful. So you're gonna have a good time. That's so exciting. I'm also so excited. We just found out like 3 days ago. So
it's fresh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. I could talk about Taylor Swift for 45 minutes, so I'll try my best to get off of it. But surrounding British Columbia, not the British Columbia.
British Columbia.
What's the lacrosse scene like there? And like, how did you guys get into lacrosse?
Yeah, so we start in Canada. The most common thing I would say, at least when we were growing up, was to start with box lacrosse. So that's how we started with lacrosse, is box lacrosse, full contact in the spring, summer time. And so we started with that because our hockey coach actually at the time was also coaching box lacrosse, and he was like, you guys should try it, it'd be fun. And we were the kids that were in every sport. Our parents just put us in every sport, see what stuck basically. And so we kept doing that, and we're like, for sure, yeah, let's try. So we started with box, it was super fun. And then just honestly to improve our box lacrosse skills was how field lacrosse came up, because a couple of the girls on the team were like, yeah, we're gonna play field in the fall just to get better at box. So we're like, hell yeah, let's do it. So we played field lacrosse and kind of started with that. It was a bit slower because in BC, especially when we were growing up, there really wasn't that much field lacrosse. It was predominantly box lacrosse. That was what girls played if they did play. And so we kind of kept rolling with that, and it was fun, but it wasn't my favorite sport ever. But we just kind of stuck with it. We had a really good coach. She was super awesome. Our team was good. But when we started, we were in grade 7. And so there wasn't a young enough team for that. So we had to play with the U15s, which was a lot older. So in a sport like field lacrosse is really hard going from box lacrosse because your pockets more shallow and stuff. You're already like, oh, I kind of suck at this. And then you're also playing against girls that are 5-6 years older than you. So that was kind of a big age gap for us to start. But that was just our only option around our area because there wasn't any younger teams. So we're like, whatever, we stuck with it. And then in grade 10 was our first chance to play on the Team BC is the travel team at the time. And that was basically if you had goals or aspirations to play in college in the States, you had to be on Team BC. That was the only travel team in our province at the time and where all the best girls played. So we tried out for that. Our coach, Jason Carr, Ashley Bull at the time, they took a chance on us because we were athletic. I wouldn't say we were the most gifted lacrosse wise, but and they took chance on us. We went down to President's Cup in Sandstorm that year, and that's kind of when we really started to become super passionate for field lacrosse, and when we were like, wait, we could actually do this. This is super fun. Our team was great at the time, and then just from there I kind of kept building. We played Team BC for 3 years, but there really isn't that much opportunity for field lacrosse, especially in BC. Obviously, to get recruited, most things are on the East Coast, so that's a large travel for anyone from the West Coast, but especially being from Canada, you pretty much always had to cross the border to get any sort of exposure to college coaches, and that was kind of just sacrifices that our parents made for us, and all the girls in our area at the time have to make, and still do have to make, just because it is still growing, obviously, we all know. But we were super fortunate to have the opportunities we did, come down to different clinics, stuff like that. But it definitely is a lot different up there than it is, I would say, in the majority of lacrosse hotspots around the States, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really think I have anything to add, because she kind of summed it up.
So you guys do tournaments in the States then for most of your...
Yeah.
Wow. Jeez. I thought driving to Pennsylvania from Maryland was annoying. That's crazy.
Especially, pretty much all flights too, because even if you're going, the only West Coast tournaments are in California pretty well.
Yeah.
So pretty much always catching at least a 4.5 hour, 5 hour flight to the East Coast anytime we have to.
Actually, the only like real lacrosse tournament that we played in Canada would be like our national tournament, which only happened every 2 years, I think. So we got the chance to play in that once when we were in grade 11, I think it was, or going into grade 11. So when we were young, but it's like you only get the opportunity to play that. And even then, we were lucky that year that it happened to be the same year as the World Championship in Peterborough, Ontario. So there happened to be obviously college coaches there because there was a ton of lacrosse in that one area. But for the most part, like it's you have to go to the US to play.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you guys and good for your parents, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We owe everything to our parents. They really, like, especially growing up too, because we played 13 sports growing up, and they would never complain about taking us anywhere. They would always, we'd go from sport to sport to sport, eat in the car, and they always sacrificed everything so that we could play and just have fun. So super grateful to have them as a support system for sure.
That's commitment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Cool.
Everything I'm hearing about the Gaspar family seems like it's like a fairy tale. Okay, it's amazing.
It's fun.
So I'm curious. There are more and more players coming from whether it's Australia or Canada or even Japan to America to play college lacrosse. Are there any ones from Canada that y'all looked up to? Erica Evans, Megan Kinna, Dana Dovey?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could. There's a huge list. I mean, Megan Kinna, local talent. We've had the opportunity to coach and now play with her, which has been amazing. She's awesome for the sport. She's one of the huge role models, especially in BC, growing the game, giving more opportunity to the younger generation. She's just phenomenal in that aspect. Obviously, Dana Dovey is a legend. Everyone knows Dana. To have the opportunity to have played with her in October was just a dream come true, really. And obviously we've looked up to her, especially as she's Canadian legend, a lacrosse legend, not just Canadian. So, and then Erica too, super awesome for sure. There's been a ton. Selena Lasota, she had gone to Northwestern. She was huge for us, being from BC as well. And Ashley Bull. She was our coach for Team BC, so getting to be mentored by her throughout our time at Team BC, playing under her with Canada in October, just had tryouts for Team Canada, box lacrosse with her. She's been huge in our path as well, just really putting belief in our ability. Obviously, as a coach, she's been super instrumental in our lacrosse career. So a lot of credit to Ash as well, for sure.
Awesome. Hey, the list is growing. The list
Yeah.
is growing, so that's awesome. So you mentioned both of you mentioned playing a bunch of sports growing up. We'll start with you, Bella, on this one. How did the two of you decide on playing lacrosse in college after playing volleyball, basketball, soccer in high school? You played hockey when you were younger. So every sport known to humankind, the Gaspars played. So how did y'all decide on lacrosse?
Yeah, I mean, so growing up, since obviously, like we were saying, we only really got into field lacrosse seriously in about grade 10. Honestly, most of the time when we were growing up, we thought we were going to play basketball in college. So we really loved basketball. We've been played at a high level pretty much our whole life. And then it wasn't until grade 11 or so when we started getting looks from colleges, like U.S. colleges, that we kind of realized our we had more opportunity playing lacrosse than playing basketball. Obviously, we aren't the tallest girls around, so basketball is a little bit limited there. We got offers from a few universities in Canada to play basketball and D2 in the States, but ultimately we wanted to play D1, and that was kind of a deciding factor of us. With lacrosse, we knew we had a bit more opportunity. We were higher in level compared to the girls around us with lacrosse. There's obviously a lot more girls do play basketball and obviously the height thing too. So it was back and forth, honestly, until we made our commitment decision in our grade 12 year, which we were late commits for lacrosse, but it wasn't really necessarily we didn't really decide for a really long time, but I would say I don't really know. I mean, that wasn't really a deciding factor. It was just kind of
it was just kind of just the best opportunity for us was lacrosse, and we had kind of always been playing basketball. Lacrosse, we felt we had a lot more potential with lacrosse, so that was kind of the deciding factor. But it really was back and forth for a really long time for us, and that made it pretty challenging, like because we were kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out with what we wanted to do in college. A lot of girls have this plan. They're going to do this. They already know like the next 5 years set out for them. And for us, it was really, and being later to the recruiting process put a lot of struggle in that as well, or like just kind of stressors, I guess, just because it was pretty uncertain until we were a lot later in the recruiting process than the majority of Division I players. But honestly, until we decided, probably going into our senior year, we were like, yeah, lacrosse is the way we want to go. And then obviously that worked out really well. So, but yeah, I mean, we still played out our senior year of basketball in school, and it really is so fun. We made so many friendships from that. But growing up, it was lacrosse and basketball that were our like two loves for sure.
It was always kind of funny because I feel like when we were at lacrosse, we were really good lacrosse players considering we were basketball players, and when we were at basketball, we were really good basketball players considering we were lacrosse players. So it's kind of like this weird like back and forth. We never really knew which one we were more of. I feel like in the long run, it has helped us a lot. I feel especially with injury prevention, that sort of thing. Just being multi-sport athletes has definitely helped with footwork and all that stuff. So, but yeah, no, it wasn't really a hard decision. It just, especially Arizona State, we couldn't pass up this opportunity. So, we just had cooler opportunities with lacrosse, I would say.
Very cool.
Was there ever a moment that one of you wanted to play basketball and the other one wanted to play lacrosse? Or did you guys agree like the whole time when you were going back and forth?
They don't fight, Karson. They do not fight.
It wouldn't be a fight.
I mean, I'm sure some days one wanted one or the other, I guess, depending how we played or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
It always was weird, especially because they were different seasons, kind of. I feel like when we were in basketball season, we were kind of all in on basketball. We wanted to play basketball, and when we were in lacrosse, we really wanted to play lacrosse. So, But I don't know if there was ever a time where one of us wanted to play more.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of fluctuated, I guess, sometimes.
Stop. Karson's trying to stir up some drama. I apologize for her.
That's hilarious.
It's me. So you guys are 97 and 98, right, for ASU, which is like crazy high numbers for. So how did you guys come to decide on those numbers?
Yeah. Honestly, so when we came in as freshmen, it was the year after COVID had happened. So we had a lot of the older girls. We had lots of 5th and 6th years stay. So our roster our freshman year was something like 49 or 50 girls.
We had a ton of girls.
It was massive. Yeah. So when we came in, naturally a lot of the regular numbers were kind of taken up by the older girls. So our coach or like I don't know, the more normal numbers. So our coach texted us over the summer before we had come. They're like, we have 3, 47, 48, 52, like 56. They were all like random numbers or any number above 70 or something like that. So pretty much any number from 1 to 30 was taken up.
Yeah.
So we were like,
growing up in box lacrosse, I was always 17 and she was always 9. But to be completely fair, like I'm just not a number girl. I know a lot of people have a lot of really like deep connections to their number. Like you could put me on any number. I honestly like wouldn't care, but that's like one funny thing I feel like just that I've never really like cared about too much. But with the situation, it was kind of like, well, there's literally no number we've ever worn before.
And we knew we wanted to have back-to-back numbers. So like 6 and 7, whatever. We wanted to have numbers back-to-back. And the only options were really high numbers. So we didn't want to do 99 because that's Wayne Gretzky. And we're like, we can't do 99. So we landed on 97 and 98. Not really any. No, that was literally no rhyme or reason.
Just like, okay, yep. Send.
Really just to make everyone else's lives hard. We had twins on my team when I was a freshman. And they were 27 and 28. And I was like, we couldn't have tried a little. I was always like, I don't know. It took me like 3 months. They'd run at me. I'm like, I don't know which one of you is which.
Yeah, it's definitely makes some people's lives a little bit harder. But people say the 8 looks like a Google G, so that's why they get creative with this kind of stuff. I had a gold shaft freshman year. They like G gold Gigi,
and I use a black shaft fella.
Whatever
so
works.
We have a couple.
There you go. Yeah, those count.
People out a little bit. Yeah,
it does help when you're like running at you with the ball and you have to figure it out.
I'm glad y'all did not choose 48, 49, or 50. No offense if anyone on the team has those numbers now, but those are some ugly numbers, okay? I'm sorry, but those are
I
ugly.
honestly don't know. We might.
We have 48. I don't know. We have some random numbers. We've always had a big roster, so I guess it's just kind of naturally we kind of have to get up there with the numbers, but yeah.
Hey, 97 and 98, those just look good. Also, did someone take Kaylin Buckner's number this year? Number 5?
We got a freshman. We got a freshman with number 5.
Dang, she came in as a freshman and got number 5, and now we're getting offered in the 50?
I know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Also, shout out Kaylin Buckner. I love watching her play.
Yeah, I love her.
She's one of our best friends.
She's one of our best friends off the field as well. So it's been tough not having her this year, but she's awesome. Yeah.
Hey, we all get old, we all got to move on at some point. So.
Unfortunately. I know. Reality.
So, excuse me, why did y'all choose Arizona State?
Yeah, I can
take it. I mean, obviously we were late in the recruiting process, and by the time we visited Arizona State, it kind of seemed like everything was falling into place. So we came on an unofficial visit in October of our senior year. We came down automatically. You fell in love. It's kind of impossible not to. I mean, we come down in October from the rain at home, and it was sunny, warm. The campus is beautiful. The coaching staff at the time we were really loved. Like they were awesome. Definitely a huge deciding factor. And then Arizona State also had both the majors that we wanted to do, so that was a big factor too, because obviously we're coming to play lacrosse, but also school has always been really important for us. So that was a big deciding factor. And then obviously like the offer was great. It's pretty much impossible to pass up. So I think also most of the schools are on the East Coast for lacrosse. So Arizona is it's relatively close to us. It's only a 2.5-3 hour flight, which is pretty close, being sort of on the West Coast. So all of those factors pretty much made it a kind of a no-brainer. I mean, especially at the time, it was our best option, and it was a dream school, honestly. Like we're so happy with our decision.
Yeah, when it came up onto our like board that we had like even an option to come here, it was a non-negotiable. I mean, it really is just it's paradise on earth. It's always sunny. I mean, you really can. We went out to practice. It's like we get here January 7th, and we're going out to practice in t-shirts and shorts. And you obviously saw that when we came on our visit, the team all just looked like they were living in a movie. Basically, I'm like, I want that.
Don't you guys all have pools? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dean.
Oh no, you go ahead. I have a lot to say, so I'll just...
I was gonna don't you like all have pools? Like, doesn't all your off-campus housing have like pools in their backyards?
Yeah. You need a pool.
Yeah, that's Mara came to Drexel from ASU.
Yes.
Was like showing us pictures of her just like lounging in March at her pool.
I know.
Crazy.
It is crazy. And like if after practice, if we'll do homework by the pool. Like it really is like a paradise.
Yeah.
And you wake up in the morning, the sunsets and the sunrises are always so pretty here because there's never really clouds in the sky, or if they are, it's just the wispy nice ones, and always sunny. It is crazy when you think about it, like, because pretty well most of the schools in the country, they go out to practice in snow, rain. I think our whole 4 years here so far, we've had rain.
I can count on both hands.
Like how many times has been rain. Like it doesn't rain here. It's honestly, it's perfect. I'm in love with this place. Like ASU is honestly, I love it so much. And the school is just awesome too. Obviously, big football stadium, big football team. Even though we didn't do that good this year, it's still cool. And so many sports programs. All the facilities are pretty top notch. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah,
it's okay. So I just have to point this out. So y'all are from Canada. It's supposed to be very cold up there, correct?
Yeah.
So one of you said that. Okay, so both of you said you loved Arizona. One said it's sunny. One said it's very warm. Neither one of you mentioned that it gets boiling hot down there. Okay.
A little warm.
Yeah.
I think I heard this past summer there was like 3 weeks in a row of 120 degrees, something crazy. Like that is insane. That is crazy.
Yeah, it is insane. I had to stay here for one summer when I was doing some rehab for one of my injuries, but that was crazy. Our setup's pretty nice in the sense that we're here basically the whole fall. It's pretty hot. When you get here in August, like I can't sugarcoat it. It's hot. Like you need to be in AC or a pool basically the whole time. And then we leave around like May time. So it's until June, July, August is when it gets crazy hot. Not needless to say, we've definitely had games where we've played in over 100 degrees. We've had tons of practices over 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And it sounds bad. Like that sounds terrible. But I mean, I personally, I like the heat, but also you get so acclimatized to it. We're drinking so like gallons of water a day, or you just kind of get used to it. And it obviously, like at home, when it gets to that level of heat, it's all over the news. Heat warning, stay inside, people dying. Like that's just like,
it's not built for it.
Yeah, it's not built for it. But here it's just the norm, and it's obviously it does take a little bit of getting used to for sure if you are thinking about coming to ASU or something like the heat. But I always say I'd rather be super hot than super cold, so that's my kind of outlook on it.
Yeah, I love the heat, and also since we practice it in it every day, I think during season, once it does get to those really high temperatures, it's definitely an advantage too. Mm-hmm. We've had some games where some of the girls on the other team are like definitely not used to the heat, because it's extreme heat for sure. Yeah. So but I like the heat, so does she, so works out for us.
Okay, what's it like going from Arizona then to the Northeast to play? Because y'all played at Penn State last year earlier in the season. Y'all played at Rutgers last year, the year before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what's it like going to those cold weather games?
Yeah, I mean, definitely it's a bit of a shock for sure to the system, but we're lucky because growing up all the time it was raining or cold pretty much outside, so I don't think we really get fazed by the weather too much because we've seen the extremes of both. But I definitely think as a whole, when we're not really that used to playing in the rain, but we always try to just say control the controllables wherever we go. I mean, you can't really control the weather here, you can't control the weather there, and so we try never to let that be an excuse for anything. But yeah, it definitely is. Especially we also went to Michigan our sophomore year, and it was literally blizzarding. So that was crazy. But we also played inside, so it was like it's fine. We just have to walk.
Okay, well, okay, then it wasn't a blizzard then if you
So
played it.
Yeah. So it was fine. But
Don't try and lie to our
yeah,
audience, okay?
clickbait. Yeah. So I think Stony Brook and Rutgers that weekend was bad our sophomore year. Like it was raining sideways.
But at the same time, there's actually no one on our team from Arizona.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's basically from the East Coast or from like colder places. So we're at least at some point for the majority, there's a couple that are from like California, Florida. So we'll give them grace. But for the majority, like everyone's played in the cold or stuff like that. It's kind of like you just muscle it up. And we're used to like not worrying about the weather, but just on the different like edge of the tip of the scale. So we're like, oh, we can't complain about the heat because when we're here, we can't complain about the cold when we're over there. So it's kind of just that same mindset, just the opposite end of it when we go to play those colder places.
Yeah.
I like really thought that over 100 degrees was illegal. Like I didn't think we were allowed to like be at practice. Do you guys play on turf or grass?
Grass. Yeah, no, not on turf.
I was picturing you guys out there in 100-degree weather on turf, and I was like, they're gonna melt. They're not even gonna make it. That makes sense. That's better.
Real quick before Karson asks her next question, who complains the most about the heat on the team?
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, like
I don't
it
know.
sounds dumb, but like no one complains about it because it's just you get like
And also I feel like everybody decided to play at Arizona State, so you kind of going in, you kind of got to know that it's going to be pretty hot.
Like if we know it's going to be hot, maybe in the locker room there's a little bit of banter about it, like, oh, like it's boiling outside, whatever. And then everyone's like, we're done talking about this. Like it's just like it's like kind of inevitable, and
you can't really spend energy complaining about the heat because that's just gonna make you even hotter. I feel like you can't expend any. You're expending all your energy on like trying to keep your body cool and stuff. So if you're just like complaining, I feel like it just like makes it worse.
Kaylin Buckner, shut that down real quick.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's always been a pretty good.
It's
culture.
an unwritten rule.
Yeah, it's an
unwritten
unwritten
about the
rule.
heat.
Yeah. We pretty much just have to pretend we're cold.
I would be complaining 24/7. I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah.
So we used to like when it would be snowing, because when at Drexel you're in Philly, obviously it's freezing, and it would be snowing, and they'd be like, okay, we're in an oven. I'm like run out there like pretending I was literally like a cookie in an oven, and I was like, I'm warm. I'm really, really warm. Actually, it's like 3
It's like a mental game.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to convince yourself it's the opposite temperature.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you both played for Canada at the Super Sixes event in 2023, which is cool. Did you like sixes? How did you think? What were your thoughts on sixes?
I'd say sixes is like honestly, I think my favorite style of lacrosse.
We played sixes just like at ASU for fun, but we didn't play the actual sixes rules, which is like pretty much box lacrosse on a field if you really break it down. And honestly, loved it. Like I've never had more fun. The rules were super free. I think it is like more the Canadian like box style on the field. So me personally, like both of us, it was totally up our alley, up and down. I mean, we're defenders here, so it's kind of nice to play a little bit of attack as well. And just playing both sides of the ball was super fun because it really is basically basketball and box lacrosse and field lacrosse in one game, which is all our favorite sports.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Awesome. What was it like getting to play for like your country, getting to play for Canada? That's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Canada.
It's obviously it's been a dream since we picked up the stick. I think representing your country is the biggest honor you can have in your sport. So it was definitely a really surreal moment. The first time we were standing on the sidelines with the whole team and the anthem playing, it was definitely just a dream come true. I think it's definitely the level is a lot different. Obviously, it's the highest you can really get. So that was really cool to just kind of play against the best and with the best. It's honestly nothing that we've ever really experienced before, obviously. And so we were just really grateful for the opportunity, and it was super awesome. Every part of it. Our family came to watch too, so that was really awesome. And just getting to play and be coached by the best was just honestly, it was so surreal. Like it was just kind of a full circle moment. Like, wow, this is kind of the best we can get, and the kind of the goal. That's always the goal. So obviously we want to keep repping the Leaf is hopefully in the future. So that it was just kind of the first first time. So
yeah, no, definitely for the first time was just, like she said, just kind of surreal. It's a bunch of our teammates obviously asked us when we came back, like what it was like. And it really is hard to put into words, like just something that you've strived for so long. And then to actually be on the same stage as names like Dana Dobie, Erica Evans, Meg Kennell, like all these legends, and then playing against Team USA, Kenya, Haudenosaunee, like all these teams of just the most talented girls. It really was just, it was super humbling to be on the team. Obviously, super grateful for the opportunity, and just like wearing the leaf is a experience that hopefully we'll get in the future, and definitely one that I'll never forget for sure.
Wearing the leaf.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I was just trying to Google it, but I wasn't very good. I didn't get it. Didn't you guys win? Didn't Canada win sixes?
No,
We lost in the
by
final,
one.
but
Come on,
I thought
Carson.
you won. I thought
Yeah,
we did beat the U.S. for the first time on Canadian soil, which was really
That's
really
what I'm
cool.
thinking of.
That was in the I guess round robin play. I don't know if that's how they would have how they called it, but on the tournament went till Sunday. I think we played them on the Saturday, and we beat them, and that was just super cool to be a part of, because a lot of all the older girls are funny. They're like, this is all the youngins know, like beating the US, like that was sick. So I mean, it was obviously our first time ever playing against Team USA, and to beat them was just like, whoa, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Obviously their team's full of insane talent. But just to be a part of that was definitely something super special. Yeah.
I was gonna say I remembered being like shell shocked that Canada had beaten them, but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring up a
No,
but it was cool to hear you talk about it.
I'm curious, who is the better shooter between the two of you?
Well,
no, we both love the bounce shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because we haven't really played attack at all in college. I mean, she scored. I didn't score in the tournament, unfortunately. But Gigi scored one goal against Team USA. So I guess in that tournament. But I'd say other than the one stat we have offensively, I'd say we're pretty even.
Yeah, I would say in box lacrosse, would be more.
Yeah.
Like I would say I'm more of a shooter. She's more of a patch. She basically assists all my goals.
Yeah.
So and then obviously it goes back and forth. But Bella's always had quite the vision. On
I'd say
floor,
she definitely is more of a goal scorer. I'm more of the playmaker. I would say is kind of offensively.
Yeah.
Hey, you balance each other out.
Yeah.
The bounce shot is so defender of you guys.
Yeah.
That is so classic.
Yeah,
I know.
They always go.
I always try to tell our attackers, as soon as the bounce doesn't go, I'll stop saying it. But
Yeah. No, and I feel like always like I can just picture like even like a Lizzie Colson like running down the field for Maryland, and like that sidearm bounce that just like all goes in every time.
Yeah.
That was
goes
as
in.
soon as you guys said that.
Yeah, it's not the prettiest. Ripping a top ched is way better, but I mean,
They all count the same.
They all count the same. So.
And they always work. It always works.
I know.
Wow.
I should be an attack coach.
So not only are you a parent's dream, you are also a coach's dream. Haley Warden must love whenever y'all take shots. She's like, I don't have to say anything to them. They're gonna bounce it every time.
Yeah.
Does she ever suit up in practice?
Sorry,
Pardon?
Does Haley Warden ever suit up in practice?
Yeah,
She
played in our scrimmage last week. She's awesome. She'll go out. She'll sometimes play scout, just depending where we need her. But obviously, she's one of the best players in the U.S., so it's really fun to match up against her sometimes.
And she's honestly like super. Especially when we were preparing to go to sixes, since we obviously are defenders, she would stay after practice pretty well whenever we needed, and just to teach us some offensive stuff. So that was really awesome. And after practice now, even like I'll just take 1v1s against her because she's one of the best dodgers in the game. So it's really a pretty crazy tool that we just have in our back pocket at all times. She's also super funny. So. She's definitely been a great asset for our program.
Okay, and we cannot forget about the other assistant coach,
Caroline
Wakefield. Is she as crazy as she looks on social media? I mean that in a good way, not in a bad way, I promise.
In a good way, yes.
In a good way,
yeah, she's awesome. I mean, there's never a dull moment with Carol. She brings the energy to practice every day. Really knows how to, I feel like, hype up our D squad especially. And obviously she's same with Haley, but she's super talented. Obviously did super well this past season in AU. Just just so much to learn from her. I feel like she's really, really passionate, loves the game, and you can see that every day at practice. And she's willing to stay after, do reps. I mean, she's constantly teaching me new things, both of us new things, and just like really does just want the best for these. She's awesome. She's been great for the defense for sure.
She's like the definition of like a lax rat.
Yeah.
She's and it's so awesome. She's just so her energy is so contagious, and especially this year we've gotten so close with her, and she is really so awesome. And she every day at practice, I feel like I learn something new from her. Her skill is pretty insane, and she really wants the best for us, which is, you can just tell every day. She does everything she can to make sure that we're the best individual players and the best team that we can be. So it's been really awesome having her too.
Very cool. And let's not forget about your head coach, who has two of the biggest dogs in the state of Arizona. Okay.
Yes. Garth and Miko. Yeah, and now she has a baby boy too. So she's been great as well. She's been super cool. Getting closer with her. And obviously she just had her baby. I don't know if you knew that, but just seeing her.
I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah, still able to come out to practice, even going through mat leave, all those kind of things. Was really great for us. Still being able to lead us. Prepare us for the season coming up. So she's doing a really good job this year. Obviously, second year as head coach. So a lot to work on this year, and we're really excited for everything that she's gonna lead us to.
Yeah, she definitely brings a really good competitive fire for our team. So it's the whole coaching staff is just it's been really cool. Having them, it's been a cool kind of shift, because obviously we had a different set of coaching staff our freshman and sophomore year, and having this new coaching staff our junior senior year, I feel like they've really helped bring out different aspects of our game and us as individuals. So it's been really awesome, and super blessed and super excited that they joined our program.
Awesome. Does she ever bring her dogs to practice, out of curiosity?
No, she brought Garth once when he was a puppy, which was so cute, because I've never seen that type of dog as a puppy. It was just so cute. But no, the dogs don't really come out. I wish they did, but we see them on the social media. So
they are so huge. It's crazy.
They're massive. Yeah, they're massive. I know. They are big boys for sure.
Awesome. So sticking with lacrosse in Canada versus the United States, what are the major differences other than box lacrosse, obviously?
Yeah, just like in the type of play, sort of.
Yeah, is there a difference in skill level? Is it more physical? Is it quicker? Anything like that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, for sure, I would say it's more physical up in Canada, just because we are transitioning usually from box lacrosse, which is full contact, into field lacrosse, so it usually takes a little bit of recalibrating. Teammates could probably tell you the some of the first hits are a little bit hefty, but no, definitely a lot more physical of a game, I would say. But from the attacking perspective, used to being in close contact, like cutting, catching under pressure, just because we're used to such a small space with box lacrosse. And then defensively, I think the footwork's obviously translates completely. And then it is an adjustment, I would say. Yeah. The girls down here, like, stick skill level, incredible for sure. I mean, most Canadians know they love their dominant hand. I love my dominant hand. I don't think that's a secret, but it is pretty interesting to see the shift. I would say we cradle a bit lower than the American girls do.
I mean, it's kind of just a little bit more, I guess it's just a little bit more gritty in the box. Yeah. So I think translating onto the field, obviously when you go for a ground ball in box lacrosse, hands are getting slashed, you're getting hit. So then when you come onto the field, people can't even hit your stick if there's not a ball in it. So it's nice for that aspect. But I would say, the Americans, it's a little bit more, I don't know if finesse is the right word. It's just a little bit more finesse, other than instead of, I guess, power. Yeah. Like it's kind of
that's a good way
the difference. I don't really know, because I feel like you need, skill wise, you obviously need to be a lot softer with your cradling and that sort of thing in field. But I think, especially coming as defenders, it's definitely an advantage to have played Canadian style our whole life, just because it's a lot more intense. You have a lot less time to think. And so that's definitely helped us a lot on the defensive end.
So,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just in summary, Americans are soft compared to?
You said it, not me. No, it depends.
It depends. I just think there's more rules. I think would be maybe that's the easier way to say it.
They're starting one. They're starting to get a box lacrosse.
Yeah, they are,
so.
which is awesome. I feel like box lacrosse is such an awesome game, and it is crazy. It's crazy to us that girls here have never played it, because it really is just it's just a sport reserved for boys down here, I feel, and it's really awesome that it's starting to grow a lot, especially even with the US training team, and even there's a lot more tournaments that are open to girls now too. So I'm just happy that it's starting to grow, because it really is so fun, and it is a good way to start in lacrosse too, I think, just because you have to have your head up at all times, and you have more of a pocket, so it's a little bit easier to adjust, obviously, if you're younger, skill-wise. So
yeah, I feel like as a defender, also the whole thing is like get out on their hands really quick, which I was also so bad at always. I feel like that's so probably ingrained in you guys with box lacrosse. Is that
Yeah, absolutely? Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, just full contact all the time.
That's lucky, because I feel like people struggle with that a lot as defenders, is like getting to the top of 12 and like making that like initial contact as a defender. That's probably really helpful for you guys.
Karson, they post some clips from box lacrosse on Instagram. They're just decking girls, okay? I mean, they're like women out there making these other people look like regular girls. It's crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
That would not have been my sport.
Yeah. That kind of is. I think you kind of were on the track there. I feel like it's easier to pull us back. I feel like Americans sometimes they need that extra push to get out and be aggressive like that. Whereas for us, it's kind of reeling us in a little bit, which is kind of good, I guess.
Yeah, I think that'd be easier to really instead of take like that aggression.
Yeah, exactly.
How many red cards do y'all have between the two of you?
None. Don't jinx it. I don't want a red card.
Okay, how many yellow cards?
Yellow cards, we don't need to talk about it. But no, I'm kidding. My freshman year, I got a lot of yellow cards. I was actually quite good last year about avoiding them. I mean, not a perfect season, but
I think I have a bad rep. I don't think I have that many yellow cards. I mean, I've gotten a few for sure, but I think I've only been fouled out of maybe 3 games my whole career.
3?
Really, not that bad.
How many? Okay, that means Gigi must be it.
It's not great. But yeah.
That's kind of going into the you have to reel it back in a little bit, so it takes a little bit of see what the refs call, and
Well, this year they're going to be calling everything. So.
I know. Yeah, so we'll probably start and go out now. I mean, we have enough. I think we have enough playing experience that we kind of hopefully
we just play to the refs.
Yeah.
The D2 game started yesterday, and I was looking at the stats for one, and in this one game there were 7 green cards and 7 yellow cards. I'm like, this is insane.
There was the Northwestern and Stanford scrimmage last week too, and apparently the game took around 4 hours. So I don't know if it's true or not. That's just what I heard, but I hope that's not the case for our game, because
they also scored like 50 combined goals.
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah. Oh geez. Well, it didn't take a genius to see this one coming. So I mean, golly. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Karson.
Nope, that's all. I think that's all I have for you guys. Although I am going to the Sunday concert. I remember during our thing, I'm not going to Saturday.
Come on, Karson.
Sorry. Listen, you'll take what you can get.
I'll still give you recommendations.
But that's all I have.
Okay. So just real quick to end. So y'all have a YouTube channel, which I will admit I have wasted a decent amount of time. Not wasted. I spent a decent amount of time on. Okay. And one of my favorite videos that y'all do is when you ask your teammates about Canadian terminology.
Yeah.
And they have no idea what's going on up there with the leaf. Okay.
No.
So I was wondering, do you have one for Karson and I to try and figure out? Excuse me.
She is calling it the British Columbia, so that could be.
I thought it was in the UK. So.
That's so funny that you say that. That's like your favorite one, because we post stuff just for fun, and those are the only ones that ever get views. I don't know what it is like about those videos, but anyways, you want a trivia question?
Yeah, sure. Hit us with the one trivia question.
Okay.
We'll let
Okay.
Karson answer first. I don't want to.
Okay, this
Okay.
is a pretty hard
It's a pretty
one,
hard one,
though.
actually.
What?
Okay, well, we can give you an easy one, but maybe.
It's fine. I'm not gonna know either of them, so
Okay.
it really doesn't matter.
Do you know what the capital city of Canada is?
Alberta. No.
See, that would have gone viral probably.
You know Karson?
I don't even know any towns in Canada or cities.
One city.
What Burnaby, that's where y'all are from, right?
Yay.
Let's go.
Oh, wait.
Alberta's a province also.
Well, we don't have provinces in the state. How am I supposed to know the difference? You never heard of Vancouver, Karson?
I've heard of Vancouver because I'm going to see Taylor Swift.
I'll be.
That's
Okay,
where my
okay.
Vancouver knowledge ends right there.
So what's the capital?
Work on it.
What's the
Pardon?
capital?
The capital's Ottawa.
Ottawa?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I kept
No,
saying Omaha.
no.
No, I wanted to be fair, I thought it was Omaha, but I knew it was an O.
Really?
I just couldn't.
Perfect.
I was between. I knew it wasn't Omaha, but that's all I had in my head, so I didn't say anything. But
Not to burst your bubble, Karson, but there's I don't know what the terminology is called, but psychologically, when someone tells you something that you didn't know, and then you think that you knew it, but you actually didn't know it, you just think
no,
that
I
you
really
knew it.
did have Omaha in my head. I really did. I just didn't know. I knew that was wrong.
That's in Nebraska. Okay, and then last thing, what are your favorite Taylor Swift songs?
Oh. We've been really into Miss Americana lately.
Yeah, I really like that song.
Which is random. Cruel Summer, I've been liking. I know it's basic.
I'd say the
Classic.
Like,
Back to December.
I
Back
think
to
mine-
December.
Oh, I love Back to December.
Back to
He was just
December.
waiting for you to name one he knew.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like I'm not a big, like, I'm not a Swiftie, I wouldn't say, but I've been really getting into, like, I love her and Travis. Like, I like everything about
Her and Trav.
Yeah, her and Trav. Feel like Trav.
I feel like ever
Um,
since she's gone, ever since the Eras tour has started, I've just become such a huge fan of her. I feel like I liked her music
Yeah.
before, but every like other week we'll find a new song that we didn't even know existed by her.
Yeah.
She has so many songs.
So
it's
that's what I was
crazy,
gonna
like-
say. I feel like every week I have a new fave these days because I've just been discovering her mastery.
Yeah.
It also depends on your mood. Like she's got
Exactly.
a lot for a lot of moods.
lot.
So
Huge
like I can
spectrum.
be
Sure.
For sure.
All too well 10-minute version we play pretty often.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a classic.
Also, Red is very good.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not a.
That song a lot.
Yeah.
I like her older stuff, not as much as her newer stuff. But my stepsister showed me Mr. Perfectly Fine. That's a very good one.
Good one.
And
He
also,
does-
Karson, I did know Back to December. I listened to that on repeat when it first. I
That's
love
what
a
I
good
said.
slow sad song. Okay.
I said we were waiting for them to say one that you did know. That's because that's why you freaked out about Back to December.
What's the Romeo and Juliet song? That one's a
Love
classic.
Love
Story,
Story.
yeah.
It's a good one. It's
Yep.
classic.
You Belong with Me. Welcome
Yeah.
to New York is she's got some
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
She got a little too Hollywood. I like her with her country twang, teardrops on my guitar type thing. So
The
yeah.
OG. Yeah.
Yeah, she's so
Now
cool.
yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I would love to keep talking for another few hours, but we have to keep these somewhat short or else our viewers just drop off after a few minutes. Hopefully they won't do that for you though. Okay. And hopefully they won't. I'll just stop talking. But anyways, thank you so much and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Now I will message you even more because we have met. Okay. So best
Perfect.
of luck.
Thanks guys so much. That was
Yeah.
so much fun.
Thanks
had
for
a
having
blast.
us.
Did you enjoy this episode of The Player and the Journalist? If so, please leave us a review and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.